Buying links is unnecessary now that Google relies less on links and more on content and user behavior.
Bullshit. No follow. No. Strong disagree.
Unless you've been living under a rock, you have probably caught wind of the AI SEO chatter. In today's episode, we will discuss how much of this is hype, the most overrated link building strategy.
Outreach.
Yeah. And why does everyone always seem so keen on killing SEO?
SEO is dead.
SEO is officially dead.
It was dead.
Dead?
To unpack it all, I'm joined by Mohammad, CEO of our marketplace and agency, Search Royals.
I would actually more say that Reddit should be afraid of AIs.
This is The Crawl, the podcast for unfiltered conversations on SEO, link building, and beyond.
I knew actually a dude that used to inject websites, and what they would do is...
So, why do you hate Google Ads?
Hate? I don't hate Google Ads. I'm not hating, but I'm disliking what is becoming. I worked with Google Ads for 20 years, and back then you had like click prices, 15 cents, 20 cents, and so on. Nowadays you have to pay 10, 20, $200 in some cases for a click. I think the worst part of it is not only the increase in the click prices, but it's becoming more and more black box. So back in the day, it was very easy to optimize Google Ads because you would basically set up a keyword even in broad, and there was a legitimate strategy of optimizing based on putting everything in broad and then just putting in negative search terms, so filtering out. In the beginning, it would be a little bit expensive, a lot of learning you would do, pay a lot of money for that. But over time, you would actually cut down to what is not converting and not working for you. You could do that. But nowadays, there's a lot of the search term you can't see. Is becoming more and more black box, and Google is trying to push more and more towards the performing max, meaning that it want to take control away from you, and that's a little bit shame.
But how does that black box differ from SEO in general?
Well, you can say in a way, what's the devil that you know compared to the devil that you don't know? At the very least, you know with SEO that if you do focus on optimizing your website, you pretty much have majority of the search engines looking at the same thing, like dealing with the same scenario. Also with schema markups, is a universal language for tagging up your website compared to what it is. You know there are certain elements that you need in place. SEO is not a matter of some tricky thing to do. It's merely a matter of doing things better than your competitors, because the recipe is becoming more and more simple. You need a website Google can crawl. You need the website can be indexed. Have to be fast, page speed optimized, and so on and so on. And then you need some content that is appealing enough for users and engaging enough. And then you need some brand recognition. You need some links to a website. So like the overall formula in this case is something that is known, and it's a matter of doing it better than your competitors. There isn't like a secret sauce in it. Just sheer creativity and raw power. But when it comes to Google Ads, you hand your creatives to Google, to a software that actually takes the control from you. It says, give me your website, give me some images, and give me some keywords, and then you pretty much lose control of it, where you're placed. And a lot of the clicks, a lot of the traffic you're getting, exposure you're getting it from views on mobile apps like games and so on. And back in the day, you could disengage those, like deselect them. But nowadays you can't do that. So like I said, is what is becoming into and turning into, that is a little bit annoying. And by the end of the day, who really knows whether the clicks that you're getting on Google Ads are real or not? I mean, Google Ads, if I be very critic to it, they say, well, we have a software that looks for clicks that are not real. Well, yeah, okay, but do we have access to seeing that software? Like, do we just believe in what you're saying? Nobody has a control of it. So how do I actually know that all of the clicks that I'm getting and I'm paying $200 for per click are actually real?
Yeah.
On the other hand, if you're doing SEO, then whether your competitor clicks on you or not, then the clicks are free. That's the beauty of SEO. And I have a customer who's dealing with doing Google Ads, and he sits and clicks on his competitor's ad. And even though if when I tell him that, listen, Google has a software that actually looks for this and nulls those clicks, and he said, oh, it doesn't matter. I use VPN, so I change my IP all the time to click the
Yeah,
Google
of course.
competitors.
I kind of want to challenge you on that. SEO has become simpler because I've been in the industry for 5 years, and you've been in the industry for 20 years.
The SEO for 15 years.
15 years. Yeah. But in my experience, SEO has not become simpler at all. It has become more and more complex. But we all have heard the stories about that back in the day. There were really simple tactics that could get you instant rankings if you did this and this. What tactics used to work but doesn't anymore? Like if we talk 10, 15 years ago.
Well, that kind of depends on who you're asking. If you ask some of the really experienced guy, maybe some of the ones that experiment a lot, they would tell you that a lot of the black hat techniques work still, and maybe even better than they used to do before. So it's not about the tactic. And let me clarify. When I'm talking about it becoming more and more simple, when I explain SEO, I don't explain it as most people would do. So, for example, when I'm calling to clients, partners, and so on, I explain that SEO is a matter of if you want to compare to something, you need to, and especially if you want to do optimization, like how do you do technical optimization? How do you explain that to somebody who doesn't have any experience with SEO? So I always compare SEO with either building a house or building a supermarket and use those references. So if you think about building a house, what do you need? You need a solid foundation. You need 4 walls. You need a roof. You need some elements in this, right? That's basically the foundation of SEO work as well. There are some overall things that you need to do in order to have some start, like a base foundation. Now, and that doesn't change. Like whether you're 20 years ago or whether you're today, that doesn't change. You still need the foundation. You still need a website that Google can crawl, index. It understands what it is, and these elements are the same. Whether now AI has joined the game as well, and so on. So, and when I say when I explain to customers, how do you technically optimize your website? I tell them, because here in Denmark we have like grades on houses, A, B, C, D, and E, and F. I say you basically want to go from E and F up to A level. That means you need to tear something down, rebuild it again, and so on. And when you explain it like that, people tend to understand it better.
So I know you love to talk about that. These black hat, white hat, gray hat areas are not as set in stone as some people tend to put them in. Are there some tactics that most people say is black hat that you actually really like and would kind of take out of that hat terminology? Because I know it can be really vague with these white hat, gray hat, black hat. But is there like one tactic that you love more that you don't think is considered black hat?
Oh, many. There's a lot of tactics that if you ask some people, they will say, this is black hat. If you ask others, they will say, this is gray hat. And if you ask others, they will say, this is just genius. There's a couple of them. So, for example, one of the things that I think some people may consider as a black hat technique is redirecting domains. When you start a website, you're basically from scratch. You're from zero. There's a lot of domains out there that are expired, and and they have some history, meaning that there are still some links on the internet on the web that actually links to it, point to it, active, and some cases for links from very big websites, whether it's Wikipedia or big news media outlet and so on, there's still active link to it. Now, a strategy is that you purchase those domains because they still have what you call juice in it, especially if they haven't been tampered with or if it's an old domain and so on. And there's a two-way of using that. Either you can use it for link building in terms of PBN, for example. You pretty much just buy the link, you place a WordPress blog on it and start writing and linking out. Or you can do as some people does, just buy it and redirect it. Then the juice flows instantly to that.
Yeah, we see that a lot, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously, I think if you ask Google, they'll say, well, we disregard that. That doesn't work and so on. And some people may consider that as black hat. But I would say why not?
It's
so
also,
that is one strategy.
It's also a really fine line because there's a lot of mergers out there of companies that actually combine each other and people going on pensions and stuff like that. So it's really hard to find that fine line where Google finds it that it's black hat, it's not okay that because people misuse it and abuse it, and then the actual businesses that do it because it's logical.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, so it kind of also depends on who you're asking, and is this really black hat? No, I mean, if you consider that technique as black hat, then you clearly don't know what black hat is because there's some levels
to many
this.
Levels, yeah.
Yes, I mean, I've seen some crazy shit throughout the time. One of the earliest days in link building, I saw I knew actually a dude that used to inject websites and then like hack them and inject with a link. And the way he would do it is he would place a very, 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 very small image or a very small hyperlink as white font.
White on white?
Yeah,
Good
exactly.
Old,
so
I've heard about that, yeah.
You wouldn't be able to see it, but as soon as you went into the source, you would see some links to it. And yeah, he got a lot of traffic on it. And today, it would still be valid because it still works. So Google's search engine isn't perfect. Some would say it's actually broken in some levels.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that actually do work still. Yes,
we still see.
I wouldn't encourage those things. Definitely not, because in my mind, there's a very big difference between doing something that is considered ethically wrong in terms of Google guidelines versus actual illegal. Hacking a website is illegal. Never in a million years would I touch that. But redirecting a domain, that is nothing wrong with that. And if Google has a problem with that, then they should actually do what they preach and nullify those redirect juice that actually goes on.
Before we dive deeper, I just want to throw some maybe controversial statements at you. The game is quite simple.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna give you a statement, and then you're gonna say do follow or no follow, if you agree or disagree. And then if you have a take on it, you can just tear it apart completely if you want to. Buying links is unnecessary now that Google relies less on links and more on content and user behavior.
Bullshit. No follow. No. Strong disagree.
Strong disagree.
Yeah.
Even in the AI age where everything is just thrown up in the air.
Strong disagree. Yeah. I on the other hand, I actually think buying links is more important going forward than ever before. Because back in the day, you had a lot of options of reaching out and then doing natural link building, outreach and so on, and getting those earned links. But nowadays, everybody, most publishers know that they can sell links and make money. So why the hell would they just link to you for free?
Yeah.
And it becoming so what you call slim pickings out there that we have because we do have a blog network of niche sites. And a lot of those agencies that do outreach link building, they tend to write to some of our smaller blog sites and like almost begging for a link to their website because the selection is becoming much lower. So no, strong disagree.
Okay, next one. AI is gonna replace SEO specialist within 5 years. Are they gonna take over completely control, or they're just gonna it's gonna be a new world?
Oh, that's a good one because that kind of depends on what is becoming turning into. I give you a really good example of how this is actually changing. So back in the day, we had if you wanted to page speed optimize your website, you need to have a developer, right? Now, for not so long time ago, I spent, it took me a little bit time, but I spent some time with ChatGPT and page speed optimize the website, and asked it basically give me step-by-step guide on how to do. And it would also, for example, say go to this page and look for this and this. And even though I would be like, I can't find what the hell you're referencing to, I took a screenshot of it and sent it to us, pointed to it.
Exactly.
But ultimately, I could actually page speed optimize a website from score 47 to 92. So in that case, you like for WordPress websites or CMS where you actually can do adjustments, I think some things are going to be unnecessary with the humans and be easier to do. That's one thing. The other thing is there are softwares out there, and one of the things we have in the roadmap for I10 is going with SEO AI agents. So not only just identifying what needs to be done, but also making the integrations to for example, WordPress website that actually takes care of it for you. So I think it's going to evolve. I don't think it's going to be fully replaced. No. But changing. What is going to be changed into?
Yeah, because I know I've talked a lot about if you take content and then the AI aspect of that, it's not disappearing. It's evolving from a content writer to a more editor type role.
Yes.
Where you need to be way more strategy and then put the legwork down to the
Yes.
AIs instead.
Yes.
At least that's kind of where I see it going.
Yeah, well,
Because
we
it's
did
never-
this. So last year, we did a big transformation in our own company where I could see where this is headed. And we had a lot of people work on just simple, like manual typewriting, and then it will go to an editor who would proofread it and so on. And I could see this is going to change for sure. This is going to change. So we put more and more work into using AI, and now focusing on not simple editor, copywriter assignments, but having more specialists. So it's gonna evolve. But can it really replace humans in the end? I don't think so. No.
And then just the last one. TikTok and Reddit are genuine search engines that are threatening Google.
Didn't Google buy a stake in Reddit?
Do follow or no follow?
The search engines?
They are genuine search engines that are actually threatening Google.
No.
No follow.
No follow. First of all, when you talk about search engine, is you actively searching for something. Searching for something and asking for advice are two different things. You need to be very clear about that. So when people go to Reddit, they're actually just typing a question. I would actually more say that Reddit should be afraid of AIs. Because ultimately, their AI is drawing sources from there. And why would you go to Reddit and ask people there instead of just going directly to ChatGPT and asking it? So I don't see Google being threatened by Reddit. I see the opposite, Reddit being threatened by AI instead. Google is still, and there's a very big difference between what generation we're talking about. Like right now, and for the next maybe 5-10 years, Google's still going to be dominant king. But maybe the new generation is going to be using this differently. We also all see it right now. The young generation, they don't. And when I say young generation, well, people younger than me, they're like on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, so I'm like the old timer. But the younger than me, like 10 years younger than me, the start 30s and so on, they live on Instagram. The generation before them, they live on Snapchat, TikTok, and going forward, the new generation will definitely be more and more AI. But then comes the question. will Google just disappear? No, because they also have their own AI. They also going to integrate it somehow. So I don't think that's going to happen. No.
No. If we go back to the start, we talked about this whole thing about, black hat, white hat.
Yeah.
How do we combine this? If we combine this with ethics in general, if we look at black hat, is it ethical? If we look at white hat, is that purely ethical? How do you see that agencies around the world that are actually saying they're pure white hat, but when you look at the tactics, they're at least in their terms way, they're gray hat or maybe even black hat?
I think first of all you need to scratch whatever the hell you call white hat and black hat and gray hat. That's a bunch of bullshit and doesn't make sense. Because if you want to be purely white hat, then you basically just need to create a website and work on your website and don't focus anything on so-called SEO for that matter, because Google tells you that, listen, we can crawl your website, we can understand it. You don't need to keyword stuff it, which is also true, but you don't need to do like over optimization and so on. We understand it. We're gonna figure it out and somewhere, and don't try to manipulate us.
Yeah.
All right, then you just create a website, you sit there, and then you hope for the best, right? This is ultimately the purest white hat. The moment you try to use tools that track your rankings, just to give you an example, that is against Google's editorial guidelines, because they scrape data from Google, and scraping data from Google is against their editorial guidelines.
Relating to that, Google actually came out with the newest core update this Tuesday, focusing on spam. How do you think this they've done a lot of spam core updates over the years?
What is spam?
Yeah, exactly. What is spam? What do you think what will happen this time maybe?
I don't know what happened. 50,000 other link spam updates that they had.
That has done not that much.
I mean, so in the beginning, damn, I sound so old when I say that. But there were some more, I think, effect and also more disturbance in the force of Google rankings when these updates came. And they, of course, they do some changes in the rankings. But whenever you're talking about spam update, link spam, and so on, there's levels of this as well. Again, are you talking about, for example, you buy a domain that is expired, you bring it back to life in a new form, you place a website, WordPress on it, you start writing an article and linking out. That is one level. Injecting links into website that does it, that is a whole another level. And doing other types of link wheels, for example, or so many different ways you can do that. What does it target? And the sheer number of things, like if you're doing one link like this or compared to one link like that, what we see throughout the years, what I have seen, that every time there's a link spam update, all our clients tend to increase, even though that we're doing, for example, blog links that is theoretically against Google's guidelines, but they tend to increase. We're not worried much on that. I would definitely say if you're doing the worst of the worst techniques, volume, but also like really, really so-called black hat, those are the things that you should be afraid of, definitely. And those are also the ones I do think Google targets most, and not necessarily getting a little bit links here and there, or by buying links here and there. I don't think those are the targets for Google.
Right.
And speaking of, for example, spam updates and the levels of things. So we had some years ago. In Denmark, there was a company, or I don't know if it was a company, people, whoever it was, they were buying expired domains, and they were like getting some high value expired domains. And what they would do is they would scrape the news media outlets for maybe like a couple of million pages from them, and then they would place it on this expired domain. And what happened was immediately, as soon as they did that, they would be ranking for all sorts of type of server.
Everything,
Yeah. And they would definitely go about this for 3 weeks and get thousands and several thousands, 100,000 or maybe millions of clicks to the website. And then as soon as you land on the website, you would also get redirected to some sort of Bitcoin scam and so on.
Yeah.
Then Google would so-called nuke this website, and then they would just place it on a new and just repeat this process.
Churn and burn.
Yeah. And this type of things are things that Google deal with more, because this is more heavy than somebody who goes into his website and has maybe his keyword density is on 5 or 7% and so on. So I do think there's levels that you need to consider. And yeah.
Great. We're gonna switch gears a little bit, because now I'm gonna be a little more rapid fire. So this is called the quick round.
Okay.
So it's a short, snappy question. And I
Still
just want,
no follow? Or?
No,
Okay.
this is just, I want a quick, simple reaction to it, basically. No long essays. I know you've been in the industry for years. There's a lot of talks about, but I just want a quick take.
All right, let's go.
So the first one. What is your hottest take in SEO right now?
The combination of website size and also the combination of the volume in links. Bigger websites tend to get better rankings. Pure and simple.
Velocity.
Yes,
More,
velocity both in
both
content and in links.
Second one. Most annoying LinkedIn trend.
See, what's that? What the fuck?
Which really goes straight into my next question. The dumbest SEO myth you're still here in 2025.
See, what's that?
Stay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear it all the time.
Yeah, or maybe people want to say that it's don't call it SEO anymore, call it GEO or AEO, AIO, whatever.
LLM, AO,
yeah.
Next one. The most overrated link building strategy.
Outreach.
Outreach.
Yeah.
Pure outreach and
Yeah,
natural.
yeah,
We
yeah.
can get all the links we want.
Yeah,
Just make
yeah. I would say also, in a way, I would say it kind of depends on the market you're in. And when I say market, I mean the
Country.
Country, yeah. So, for example, if you're in the US, UK, Germany, and so on, there are so big countries, so many websites that you still be able to find sites that may link to you. But when you're in smaller countries such as Denmark, Sweden, Norway, and so on, I mean, this is just waste of time.
And then the most underrated link building strategy.
Buying links?
Buying links?
No. Link building, I would say the most underrated that we're doing in some of our projects, but I wish we could do more and definitely want to do more, tier link building. Tier link building is definitely underrated and should be considered much more. So even if you, for example, buying or whether you're getting it naturally or buying whatever, if you get a link, if you published an article on a big news outlet and you don't link to it, then you don't index it as well enough. But if you can use some tier link building to it as well from smaller links, for example.
Yeah, so enhance that process where you actually make the actual URL link even stronger than just the domain.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Great.
definitely.
Favorite unsexy SEO task you love to nerd? Like you love to just get into and just spend too much time on?
Site structure.
Site structure.
Yeah. So basically, when you do keyword research, I think this is a very, very underrated thing. Most SEOs don't. Basically, if you're doing compilation of keyword research, let's say you find out there's 1,000 keywords relevant for you. Then you need to structure them somehow on the website. And one of the things I think is very, very underrated is simply by just looking at the sitemap that you have right now, look at the sitemap that your competitors have, and just simply hurl those into ChatGPT and ask it to give you a gap on this and help you with the structuring how the website should be structured.
Trying to build that structure in the beginning.
Yes.
But yeah, again, it goes back to the whole we're building the house. We have to have the foundation first. And stuff like that.
And in that case, I would reference it to a supermarket store. Like when you go, you have like 20 sections instead of 2 sections. You have 20 sections, and each section is divided into certain elements of items that fits into that section. That is much more clear and better structured.
Yeah, you know where to go. Exactly.
Yes.
Okay. Most memorable Google update trauma. Have you had any big ones?
Oh yeah. So there's this nasty little animal that came out called penguin back in the day. It was really, really fun. So in 2012, Google launched the Penguin update, and I think the Penguin update 2.0 in 2013 was really nasty. But it was also necessary because back then what we did was we used the text spinner, and we could actually write one article with a lot of synonyms in it, and then use the spinner to create 50 different versions of this. Some of the articles made sense, some of them was like crap, you couldn't read it really well, but we will publish those into 50 different websites, all expired domains, and then all of them had the same exact match anchor. Now, it was so effective that as soon as we published it, 10 days later, our customer had the first place ranking, and number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 were our sites.
And then
so we
Penguin came.
Yeah, and then Penguin came and nuked those articles that we had, and it gave a punishment to the client's website, and we had to recover that.
Oh, yeah.
And luckily, it was easy because we could just unpublish all of these, and then within 2 months, I think he was fully recovered. But that was one of the biggest trauma because all of a sudden you have a customer that's paying you a lot of money, and he now doesn't have any rankings, but he still needs to give you money because you have a contract and you also want to help him back.
Yeah, of course.
So there should be a lot of trust in that collaboration, which there luckily was. But I still remember this as it was yesterday. Yeah.
And the last one, if you had to pick one SEO influencer you want to go out with, like on a bar, who would you pick?
For sure, Charles Float. Merely because I think I follow him on LinkedIn. I think it's really cool. He has a lot of experience testing. Now, a lot of people out there are theoretical. I see myself as a person who is experimental. I experiment with a lot, but I don't think I experiment as much as he does. And I would love to pick his brain because I have a very, very high amount of respect for people who are actually testing things. And he seems to be the one that does it the most. So definitely him, yeah.
This is also a really great segue onto the next part here, because right now we're going to talk a bit about communities within SEO. So how much do you use like communities around offline, online, network meetings, conferences and stuff like that? Like, what's your view on that?
I don't know, you want to make money or you want to mingle with people. That kind of been always my thing. Because on one hand, obviously it's good to mingle, it's good to get in forums, communities and so on, but it kind of also takes time away from the actual business, the actual work you do for the clients. And I am a member of like the SEO communities on Facebook, and obviously follow a lot of people on LinkedIn and connected to a lot of people on LinkedIn as well. And I have been to one like SEO event where we stood and talked about a lot of different things, and all I could think about is like, okay, I have this and this for the customer I need to do, and this and this and this. I think it really depends on what is the requested output that you want. Because if you go to, I would say, conferences, events where people share case studies and you can talk to people, learn more, and so on, then definitely. But if you're just meeting up with people within the community to just grab a beer and just hang out and so on, and you're doing it in the business hours, that's just waste of time. I mean, you have a business to run. You want to get some results for the clients and so on. So for me, that has never been a priority. Also, because, like I said, if I didn't feel and I didn't feel necessary that event would learn me more than I will. But this is something that I have not prioritized enough. But that's just because I've been busy.
I guess that's also fine, but I'll let George know when he actually sends you a message to meet up, because
I would love to meet him. Daniel Folicare. I mean, there are so many people that has the like experiment and have experiences where they actually test things. They have seen it with their own hands, and what they practice what they preach. I think that's the most important thing. And for sure, I would very much take time out of the business hour to meet with those people, because definitely I can learn more. And I'm always humble enough, some people don't believe it, but I'm humble enough to learn something, but it has to be for that purpose, just to mingle with people. I mean,
you need to have some evidence that you actually tried stuff rather than just theoretical.
Yes.
This should work, or this.
Or you read something that somebody wrote,
Yeah.
and then you're just reprising it.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me.
No. Just as to kind of end, close this little chat, what are we gonna see in the next 5 years regarding AEO, GEO, SEO, and all that? And is SEO gonna die again in another way?
Well, I think you should cut down the number of years, because it's evolving so rapidly. You can't say 5 years. I would say you should ask what's going to happen within the next 5 months, or maybe the next 12 months. I think what is going to happen is, at some point, people are going to level up on the same things. Meaning that you're going to have websites that are born technically optimized, especially the SMB segment. Like the most CMSs are going to be born technically okay. And with now AI that's coming in, everybody can create content, can scale content. So what is the differentiator? Now, usually, normally it will be links that will be the deciding factor. Like who could get the best links, the most relevant, the highest authority, whatever, volume, and so on. Because now there are so many different marketplaces also. SearchRoyals is one of them, but there's a lot of great marketplaces out there where you can get the links easier. I think the thing that's going to be differentiating now is, or the deciding factor is, and the most important thing is, what is going to make the difference now that the playing field is becoming more and more aligned and equal for every people.
Yeah, the barriers are lowering and lowering.
Yes.
You can easily get a technical good site, and you can easily pump out content, and you can easily pump out links.
Yes. So what's going to be the defining factor? And I do think, and this is what I'm focusing on, and what I'm working on, instead of like just grabbing a beer and talking about things. This is where in the lab all the time and I'm working. And one of the things we're working on, for example, right now is the link planner that we have in SearchRoyals. We're implementing what we call Clicko AI. We're making our AI to make the analysis and doing the quality, the relevancy score based on the website, so we can identify exactly based on which terms or level of relevancy competition has and what you should have and so on. So we focus a lot on what should be the deciding factor in this case. So I think going forward is not about just focusing on the structure that was before, the structure of the house. Now is a matter of focusing on what is the interior and what is it that actually makes your website better than others. And I give you a very good example when compared it to houses. If you go to in a house, you can have a house and you want to buy it. I'm talking about houses because we're actually looking at it right now. But if you go to a house right now, as soon as you walk into the door, if it's great looking, the furniture is great, the interior is great, and so on, that can give you much more appeal and satisfaction than maybe what is under the foundation of it. So that particular first impression can be very, very deciding factor. And this is the same thing when you do SEO. Everybody can write a 500 word article, but what's in that, and what is it engaging enough, and is it something that you want to share with others? That's going to be the deciding factor. The same thing as the links. Are you getting the links that is relevant enough, authority enough, and volume enough?
Yeah, so it's probably going to be even more uniqueness that's going to actually be the differentiator.
Yes, be creative and be unique. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that was everything we had for today.
Oh, cool.
So thank you for joining.
You're welcome.